Sure. This is being recorded. Hi, Sydney. It's really glad to see you back. I know that the last time we talked, you were talking about some relationship problems and that you and your boyfriend had kind of been having some issues. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so I recently broke up with my boyfriend of 3 years. I just decided that it was harming me more than helping me. Um, I felt like I knew for a while that I should, um, but I felt like I couldn't live without him almost. And I just kept telling myself it'll get better, and it just never really did. So, yeah, it's something I needed to do, but I'm really, really, really struggling with that decision.
What about the decision are you struggling with?
Um, I'm struggling with kind of the devil's advocate. If I stayed with him, could it have gotten better? Was I the problem in the relationship? Um, I'm also mad at myself that, maybe this was bad for me and I should have gotten out earlier, or maybe it could have been better if I had just waited longer and been a better girlfriend.
Sounds like you're really kind of conflicted about that whole ending the relationship. Was it good? Was it bad?
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you feel, what would you say is a good part that's come out of this?
A good part, it's really hard to think about that, but I didn't feel alone anymore. I always had someone there and we got to travel a lot, but in the moment I was feeling lonely, but now that we're not together, I feel really lonely. I don't like I feel like I can't like not function, but I guess just I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go places by myself. I feel extra lonely, I guess.
And that's kind of common after a breakup, that there's kind of that grieving period. Would you say that you might be grieving your relationship now?
Um, I think so. Um, I don't I feel really angry about it. I don't know if I'm angry with myself or angry with him. Um, but I don't necessarily miss him though. So I don't know. Maybe.
Do you mind if we explore that kind of angry issue for a second?
Yeah.
What when you say that you're feeling angry, what makes you feel the most angry?
I guess it's it's always the afterthought, but just looking back and realizing, how happy he made me, but at the same time how poorly he treated me, and just really feeling like I needed him to do things. And now that I don't have him, I feel like I can't do them at all. He was like my support when it came to getting out and talking to people. And now I don't even want to go out. I'm struggling in school and struggling with my job. And it just, I guess I'm just angry because I don't know if I was the one causing the problems. I feel like I'm all over with this. But I guess the angriest, like why I'm the most angry, is because I'm afraid that I can't do things on my own now that I'm alone. I'm
Have
too
you
scared.
ever done things on your own? Have you ever traveled or gone and met people and done things like that on your own before?
Yeah, but not since I was really young. My mom sent me to Australia on a student trip when I was like 13, but I'm 23 now, and I I've done school and everything, but now I just, what's the point to going to a movie when I'm, can't go with someone, or going grocery shopping is really hard because I'm indecisive. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, I guess because I was in that relationship for so long, I forgot what I could do.
Yeah. On a on Like if you were to like scale it like 1 to 10, 1 is you cannot function period at all, and 10 is you are ripping up the world and planning your own round the world single solo, ski trip. Where would you say you are right now?
Probably like a 3.5 or a 4.
Why is it a 3.5 and a 4 and not as like a 2?
Maybe because I still have motivation. I have a want to go out and I love going out. I'm just really scared. So,
So it sounds like you still have the desire to go and do these things, that the desire didn't die. Why would you, what makes you fearful about going out? What makes you scared about going out?
um, I guess just like people looking at me or being alone. Um, like if I like when I go to the mall, I feel really self-conscious because there's a lot of people there and I don't know if they're, thinking about me or um I don't know. It just makes me really, really anxious to go out by myself when I'm not with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've only lived here for so long, I don't have a lot of friends out here. Um, and the ones I do have are really busy. And so I, you know, it's really hard
Do
to go
you
out.
do you think that you could make plans with those friends that are out here,
I've
or something
tried
like that?
I've tried, but we all have so much going on. Like I'm in school, but they're working full-time jobs and our schedules never seem to match up. So I kind of just stopped asking them out. And they don't really reach out to me, so I don't feel like they want to go out with me. And I was in a relationship for so long that kind of put a dampen on my friendships.
It sounds
So
like your relationship isolated you a little bit.
I think it definitely did. I mean, especially quarantining, I've only been around him for the last 6 months to a year. I felt, like I used to go visit my family a lot. But when we started dating, we didn't do that because he didn't want to drive the distance. And so I kind of, I haven't been able to see them. And I don't know. Yeah, I guess he has kind of isolated me in that sense. I've only ever hung out with him. We only ever did things just us two.
And were there ever times when you had to like really reach out and make friends with people? And I know COVID is its own unique, weird bubble that all of us like. Pandemic is really nice because everybody's in that bubble. Everybody's had a year that's like, if they were close enough that I felt like I could text them or I could Zoom with them or I could something else. Have you ever had to like reach out to people before?
I reached out to some of my coworkers, but the times that they did want to go out, he just wanted us to be inside. And so I, kind of prioritized him and I and our relationship because I felt like the more I spent time with him, the more he'll give me affection. And looking back, it really wasn't like that. But I felt like I have reached out, but every time I've, told him I've had plans, he kind of, has had me change them. Something always comes up when I have plans. And so I guess I just kind of stopped reaching out to people because I thought he wanted to be with me, you know. So spend quality time.
Mm-hmm. And that sounds like it was a good thing or seemed like a good thing at the time, but you may not have realized that you were getting quite so isolated. Have you ever
Yeah,
had
look,
to reach out and try to make friends with people? Like what kind of places would you go to go make friends?
um I guess just work and I actually really like reaching out to people. I really like talking to people. And when he and I would go out, I would make friends pretty easily, but I always just assumed he was shy, and so he would get kind of annoyed when I was, just talking to anyone when I was out with him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so now, there's a sense of feeling free now that we're apart, but there's also, that anxiety has come back because I haven't I don't know. I'm scared to reach out. I don't even know what to talk to people about now. And I don't want to go out anymore. I'm too scared to go out, so I I guess I just stopped, I don't talk to anyone. I was so isolated with him, and I guess just I talk to my coworkers and I talk to a couple people in my classes, but even still, it's everyone's got their own thing going on.
I noticed that you said you feel free now. Can you tell me more about that?
I feel like that's ironic to say that because you would think that I'd be out and partying and hanging out with people and talking to people, and but I'm not. So I guess my sense of freedom is just that I have the option to do that without getting reprimanded or, talked down to or told, I'm embarrassing or embarrassing someone else. And so that sense of freedom is just I have the choice to do that, but now I don't want to.
And and why do you think that you might not want to?
Just fear of rejection or fear of causing a scene, fear of I don't know, something bad happening or something like that. Mostly rejection though, I think.
Are there any times that you've gone out to like someplace and started a conversation with people and they didn't talk to you?
Like if I take public transportation, I'll try and start up a conversation with someone, but no one really wants to talk. They're kind of doing, everyone's in their own space, in their own world, and I get it because I'm like that too. But um, yeah, I guess there hasn't been too many times that people didn't talk to me. Probably they're probably just being nice, but yeah,
But they were able to talk to you and you had conversations with other people.
yeah,
So so you still have that skill.
yeah. I guess I'm
And like I
nervous.
said, this COVID thing is really crazy because the kind of places you would go and meet people, going to the gym, they're all open, but you have to have a mask on, and it's really hard to like have really inviting kind eyebrows. It's like I have my mask on, but see, I'm being a really nice. No, you're being kind of like there's that kind of strangeness, and we're all going through it, trying to use human expression with a half a face.
Yeah, I
So
feel like when I do go to the gym now too, I don't talk to anyone. I don't everyone looks intimidating too with the mask. So I guess yeah, I still have this skill, but I'm still so nervous and I feel like I'm gonna embarrass myself.
if you didn't, if you went to bed tonight and woke up tomorrow and the magic dream making everything perfect fairy came and sprinkled dust upon your world, what would tomorrow look like?
Tomorrow I could sleep in and I would wake up just feeling super refreshed and happy and just ready to conquer the world and do stuff that makes me happy and talking to people and going out and just not feeling so down and scared. I'd feel empowered and happy and excited.
And let's kind of try to pull those apart a little bit. What would be an empowering thing for you?
um Something that would be empowering is to just be able to talk to whoever whenever and make friends and create long lasting, strong friendships that are supportive and happy and empowering and positive. Some
And
female energy.
and have you ever done that before? Have you had those kind of friends previously?
Yeah, I was in a sorority, and so I talked to 200 girls every day, I've had that strength and that bond before, but that's when I also met my now ex. So kind of
But it,
ripped me away from that.
But it's super impressive that you did that with 200 people. Can you scale that down from a giant crowd to like maybe two or three people?
I don't know. I guess it just felt natural because it's a sisterhood that I just was thrown into, and they were people that I was around every day. So
Okay.
to taken from a sorority of 200 girls to just me and a guy for the last 3 years, I had that sisterhood for 2 years, and it seemed to just fall apart when he and I started dating.
Did the
So,
sisterhood stay strong and then you maybe get isolated from it a little bit?
mhm.
So could you maybe identify something that you could do to feel less isolated?
um, I could probably reach out to my alumni because now I'm graduated from that. I
Mm-hmm.
can reach out to my alumni chapter from the sorority and reconnect with old friends. Um, I don't know. They kind of felt like that I didn't like them anymore. And I think it was just because I prioritized the wrong people and
Okay.
let our relationship dwindle. So I don't know what that would look like to talk to them about that. Um, and just, I guess, reaching out to my coworkers and actually following through with plans and not, I don't have anyone else to prioritize but myself now.
Okay. If you did reach out to your alum group, what do you think? What's the very worst thing that would happen?
They wouldn't respond.
Okay. So what's the most likely thing that would happen?
They'll respond and be happy to go out with me again because I felt like a strong sister in that sorority, and we did have a strong friendship. So I think that would be the best thing is them opening, welcoming in with open arms again. So
And do you think that's most likely, or do you think that's magical thinking, oh my gosh, no, that's over the top?
my mind is telling me over the top, but my heart and I mean, if I'm thinking logically here,
Mhm.
I think they'd open their door to me again.
And how do you think that, what kind of things do you think you could say to them? Like, let's compose a little text. What could you say that is like, without divulging everything in the world, it goes, hi, I'd like to come back. I've made some changes. Can we still be friends?
Yeah, I guess
What
my
would your
tech.
text what would your text look like? Let's say a tweet. You got 142 characters. You got to do it short and sweet.
I'd say, hey Abby, um, I know it's been a hot minute, but I really miss the friendship that we had, and um, I don't know. I don't want to go into depth. I guess just saying I miss the friendship we had. Can we get together and talk soon? And then if it comes up, it comes up. If not, I get to reconnect with my friend no matter what.
Okay. How would you respond if you got that text from somebody else?
I guess it would depend on the situation. I guess it's
It's
just
a
hard to.
sorority sister who kind of disappeared a little bit and then came back. Like literally the exact same text from kind of the same. She was here, she was strong, she disappeared. How would you respond to the text?
I would respond by being shocked and saying, "Oh my gosh, I miss this friend. Heck yeah, we're gonna go out or we're gonna talk on the phone or get coffee." So
Awesome. And
yeah.
would that be, on a scale of, let's do this 1 to 10 scale again. You send the text to Abby. What, a 1 to 10? One, she goes, you see it get delivered and she never responds again. 10 is she like, give me your address. We're coming right now. Where do you think she might be in that?
Um, I don't know. I want to be positive here, but I guess I'm just so nervous. My positivity scale would say a 6 or a 7, but um my fear would say a 2 or a 3. Probably a
Okay.
3.
Why would your negativity scale be a 3?
Um Probably because I've tried hanging out with her in the past, and she kind of blew it off too. In the last couple years that I have been with my boyfriend, she kind of blew
Mhm.
me off a little bit, and plans got canceled and moved and canceled and moved, and then they just withered out. So, you know, maybe not with Abby, but with other girls too. I just feel like I just failed them by not continuing those relationships and bailing on them too at a point.
But was that while you were also feeling the kind of the boyfriend's kind of controlling my life, and you make a plan? You said earlier that when you made a plan, he would make something happen so that you had to change your plans. Is that
I
kind of where
mean,
that fell?
yeah, the nearing of the end of my sorority days were also when I started dating him, and so I think I was just so enveloped in him that I put him first at all times before it became that control aspect.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really aware of it until later, but because I felt like that's how I needed to show him affection, was to be around him, and so I put him over everyone. And so I let those plans dwindle out. I let those friendships kind of burn to the ground.
But do you really feel that it was a burn to the ground?
Probably not, but I definitely let them down by just kind of, canceling plans on them too, and just never texting them or reaching out.
And I can see how you would feel that way. But a lot of times friendships are like that potted plant somebody gave you. It's like, oh dang, where is it? I gotta give it some water. And sometimes the really brown ones jump right back up.
Yeah.
Is that, do you think you had that kind of friendship with sisters in your sorority that would kind of like, hi, I kind of did a dumb thing. I'm back. Can we be friends? I learned my lesson.
Yeah, they'd probably tell me I was dumb anyway. For, choosing boys over sisterhood. But I think I have a couple friends that would be there for me if I came back.
Awesome. Awesome. What have you been doing that you could do more of that's been working for you?
Um, every day I make sure to text my mom and my brother and just reach out to them. We talk at least every other day. And so just extending that out to friends and more family, um, just keeping those relationships as much as possible, and really, and also prioritizing myself, like practicing self-care and actually things I like to do, like getting my nails done or getting my hair done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Continuing that.
Good. Have you been getting your nails and hair done since you had the breakup?
I was, but I ended up taking my nails off. I have acrylics and I took them off for a while because it was just another thing in the way of our relationship. It was another hour and a half that I was gone and not with him, spending time with him. And I let my hair grow out really long. I got it cut. So, that's another freeing aspect for me. So
Okay. Have you
I
thought
got my
about putting
back.
acrylics you're back on? Let me
Yeah,
see.
they're growing out, but
They
they're
look
back.
awesome. They look awesome. How does it make you feel to have your hair done and your acrylics done and kind of like you're making these choices for yourself?
I feel more confident and just happy because I can spend time with myself and not worry about someone else. Because I really missed, being able to style my hair and grow my acrylics and, get those done, because that was like therapy to me. That self-care aspect of, I could talk to my nail artist and, go out for coffee and on my way home and really spend that time with myself. So that's another, I guess, part of that freeing aspect that I get to do, and take time for myself and prioritize myself and schedule these appointments and talk to people. So
Awesome. And do you feel that that is a way that you can start kind of reestablishing those relationships outside of this ex-boyfriend?
yeah, Yeah, I'm friends with my nail artist because I used to go to him all the time, and he knows about the relationship.
Mhm.
Um, and he's even reached out to me, and wondering, where I've been and everything. So that was really cool to go back to him and be able to reconnect, and we got coffee together. And so yeah, I guess, and then talking to my, the girl who cut my hair, and that's like a whole nother therapy session. Just connecting and talking about daily life and fun things that we're doing for ourselves. And so, yeah, it definitely has helped with that connection piece.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you're starting to make those connections outside that maybe you don't even realize that, because they're not the big giant connection, but
Yeah.
there's those small ones that are long lasting.
hmm
What other kind of connections have you made like that?
Um, that's kind of just where I started. I don't really know. And I was comfortable going to get those things done because that's something I have done before in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I go out to dinner, I'm going to be by myself. And I just, I feel so nervous being by myself and reaching out to people. And, there's just this lonely girl sitting at the bar, it's weird. So I guess just reaching more out to friends and being able to go out with them, and I feel more confident with other people around. And so that's how I meet people, is with people.
Okay. So do you
Mhm.
have any idea where you might find people to go hang with?
I guess just starting with reaching out with old friends. I still have one friend that I'm really, really close with, but she's busy a lot of times too. But now that I'm not, completely busy with this person, I can reach out to her again and we can get together.
Awesome. When do you think, like, do you see yourself doing this in the next week, month, year? Like, when do you see yourself starting to reach out to people again?
The next week or so, I'm feeling a little more confident about it. You've kind of reminded me that I've done it before and I can do it again. So um just taking some more time for myself, going to the grocery store and maybe striking up a conversation about tomatoes. I don't know. Um,
Tomatoes
uh,
is a good thing. This time of year is probably not so good about tomatoes. Like, look how red they can fake a tomato because it is the
right.
middle of dang winter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I think this is something I can work on in the next week or so, couple weeks.
Okay.
Depends on how much I go out, how much I reach out to people.
So let's say you go to the grocery store and you try to talk to people about the tomatoes and it doesn't go so well. What do you do then?
Talk to them about the cucumbers.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I think, I'll probably feel uncomfortable in the moment, but then I have to remember to be proud of myself for reaching out and doing that. So,
That's a giant accomplishment to be able to kind of go, I'm opening up my bubble. Like, let's see if there's people outside my bubble.
right.
That's a really big thing to do. What do you see happening in the next 6 months for you? Let's go back to that. The little fairy shows up and sprinkles the dust over your world. What do you see the next 6 months looking like? Because right now you still kind of have some of that fresh hurt from the relationship and kind of trying to get your bearings again from like, what did I like really and what did I like because I had to? What did I do really? Where do you see 6 months looking like?
I don't know. I thought I was going to move in with him and get married
Nope,
and
this is the miracle moving forward. This is what is the next 6 months. Because if he showed up right now with all of his suitcases, would you take him back?
probably not.
Okay. So
I guess
the
what I was just trying to say is that that's all I thought about. And so for me, without him, because that's what I thought I had to do.
mhm.
But now that I have the option to really choose what I want, I think I would probably look at getting a better job, um, seeing family more often, Um, just really working on myself and learning more about what I like and don't like. Going, doing outdoorsy things and trying puzzles and just looking for a hobby. I used to photograph, so I'd like to get into that again, um, and mix that with the outdoor stuff and going hiking and whatnot.
That
So I
sounds
think
like a really good forward plan. Can you see yourself making goals towards these things?
yeah, definitely. Definitely. The hiking is really nice because I don't have to go with other people. I know the trails, I know where I like and where I don't like, where I feel safe, what is fun for me. So that's something I can do on my own and really take that time and just bring my camera along and find peace and solace in that.
Awesome. Do you think that might be a more lucrative spot to strike up conversations than the tomato aisle?
Probably,
People with kind
depending
of
on where
similar
I go.
interests besides produce.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Depending on where I go, for sure. There's some good um, picture spots out here. So
There are. Utah's really kind of full of them.
yeah, I can find someone with similar hobbies and interests, and create a whole new friend group through that.
That's
Or
awesome.
one friend.
So we're going to go back to that 1 to 10 question again. How do you feel in what you kind of dreamed up might happen in the next 6 months? One being nope, I'm going to sit in my house and I'm going to eat, Cocoa Crisp for the rest of my life and never talk to another person. And 10 is I may actually go out and do a hike or try to get a hobby. Where do you see yourself?
Probably an 8.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, our time is just about up. Thank you so much for coming and being so open and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me. I feel a lot more motivated and not as frightened to go out.
Good. I'm glad. And, the door is always open. You can always come back. It's not a one and done deal. So if you need more motivation, remember that it's inside you. I didn't do anything but ask you some questions.
Mhm.
So you're the one who has this inside you.
That's
Awesome.
great to look at it that way.